I see this image of, you know, crabs in the bucket. Where, I don't know if you've ever done any crabbing, but you put them in a 5-gallon bucket and you just toss them in. They'll try and crawl over each other to get out, and invariably, the ones in the bottom will pull the other ones down. You can leave a bucket full of crabs with no lid on it, they will not a single one will ever get out. Because all the other ones will always pull anybody who's about to get out back down in.
Back into it.
What a picture of being unkosher.
Yeah, right. Perfect, yeah.
Dog eat dog world.
Makes you feel kind of crabby, doesn't it?
Yeah. Or to watch out for being crabby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas
Then David wanted to build him a house, but what did he tell him?
if you lift each other up.
Never lived in a house.
I'd
Me up, yeah.
say never lived in a house.
He lived in a tabernacle, you know.
Yeah, but he was getting tired of camping. He wanted a permanent
Was?
home with us.
And in a tabernacle.
I'm still having a hard time trying to understand how God could, because I just can't get my mind around how awesome He is, how great He is. How could I build a house sufficient for Him?
God.
I think that was
Samson tried.
God's answer too.
It's an interdimensional thing,
It's deep.
One of the things I get out of
extra
this
dimensional.
is that David had it in his heart to build the temple, and God said, what you have in your heart is right, but you're not the person to do it. You're to prepare your son to do it. And that's what David did. And he laid everything out, and he prepared everything so that Solomon had everything he needed to do what needed to be done. And I think, how often as parents are we failing to prepare our children for what God has planned for them?
Or do you do for your children what they should be learning how to do for themselves, too?
Yeah. I work around children all day long. In schools. When I started my job 20-something years ago, it was yes sir, no sir.
It's not that anymore.
Now it's, hey dude. Who are you? Oh yeah, you're the yearbook dude. Yeah, cool. And you know what's amazing is, yearbooks are based around the community.
Based on what?
The community. People want to belong to a community. You know, when I started, we were selling 70-80% of the school. Nowadays, some schools have stopped doing it altogether.
Really?
They don't care, there's no community.
There's no unity, there's no community there.
Stuff
Everybody
to
is,
society.
I could care less
I have-
about the school.
I have that in my backseat of my car.
Well, I have one.
So it's amazing how, when we
I
have
have
lost
one in
our
my
faith,
backseat of my car.
as we lose our faith,
Yearbook.
we lose community. Go ahead, Roger.
Well, another thing about yearbooks, too, is when you get a yearbook in school, you feel really embarrassed if nobody signs your yearbook.
Mm.
And a lot of people now are probably thinking, I don't want anybody to sign my yearbook. I have nothing in connection with these people, and I don't ever think I will have anything in connection with these people for the rest of my life. So they're not interested in it. It's a lack of, and a loss of a feeling of connection to your fellow human being.
It is.
It's all about, what am I gonna get in this world for myself? And why should I be close to you? Because I may have to really step on your toes in order to achieve what I want somewhere down the road, so I don't wanna be too close to you right now.
You're that crab in the bucket, I'm gonna pull you down. That's sad, it really is sad.
It's the way the world is, you see it all over the place.
You know, you walk into a men's bathroom, I was in Dallas last weekend, I flew in, walked in, went into the men's bathroom, looked down, in the men's urinal, there's a piece of bubble gum. And I'm like, some lazy person spit that out, and now the janitor's going to come pick it up. That's gross. And now they're going to pick it up. So then I walk outside. There's a trash can about to that wall. Right here is one of those little smoking stands. You know what I'm talking about? The little deal that sticks straight up. People had shoved trash in every hole and everything they could get, and they put trash all around it. Trash is right over there.
But they don't hang out over by the trash can. They hang out by the smoking thing.
There's a trash can next to it.
We were getting up out of our seat at on the airplane. A nice, professional, I thought, young man behind us. He got up, there was an elderly woman sitting next to us. She was not getting off the flight, so she sat there. And my wife and I didn't get out. So as she's sitting there, he's reaching up there getting the stuff. A bag falls on her head, and he caused a falls on her head. My wife goes, "Ma'am, are you okay?" The man that the bag fell out, he just ignored it. Didn't say a word, didn't ask her if she was okay, didn't ask him.
He's probably afraid he'd get sued.
You said he was well dressed?
He was well dressed.
Probably a lawyer.
And then after his arm broke.
I'm just saying, the world we live in,
We're not in Kansas anymore.
we're not in Kansas anymore.
Well, that's been the enemy's plan all along, to destroy the family.
The
And when you
Daniel
destroy the
7.
family, you destroy the society, and then you can just take it over.
Daniel 7. Isn't it amazing?
Disorient them first by confusing their days and their months. You know, change the calendar. We don't even, most people, when you try to talk to them about when Passover is supposed to take place, they have no idea.
Don't know what it is.
But they tell you when Easter Sunday is.
Oh, yeah.
There's a potluck.
I
Right.
think that's why the holidays are so special to people in the Christian society, because it's one of the few left, things that everybody celebrates the same, and they're good to each other during that time, they.
As a family.
Yeah, but the only problem is sort of like saying, okay, listen, we're gonna bring the family together. We want you all, come on, everybody get together right here over this trap door, would you?
Well, I think a lot of that is like David running out and trying to get the ark without knowing what he's doing. And that's, when I grew up, I just didn't know what I was doing. Still don't know what I'm doing.
None of us do.
None of us do. But what's my heart? Or what's your heart?
I think it's important also to really not want to quench zeal. Zeal's important, but it does need to be guided. It needs to be matured.
God is holy. I can't dry my hair in a water bathtub full of water. It's not a smart thing to do.
You can, but you'll wind up with a big frizz.
God, He's the creator of the universe. We can't understand or fathom how holy, how powerful He is. And He's in His mercy is saying, careful guys, I love you, but careful.
What's amazing through this reading that we did too is that all through this, we see David and his zeal always taking time to do the right thing and look out for people. And to go back and always be the peacemaker, always be the one who makes sure that all of the loose ends are tied up so that all of the people that may end up being mistreated somewhere down the road or may feel left behind or left out are brought in and taken care of. Like the way that he treated Mephibosheth, is amazing. He did it for Jonathan's sake.
Yeah.
And how this is a man who was an heir to the kingdom, that he was reminded by that man's servant that, he sits at my table as a descendant of the king. And David wasn't afraid about that because he knew that he was anointed and he was going to be the king. And what was important now was for him to look back and take care of the unfortunate people and to take care of the poor and the impoverished. And he in his life over and over again does these examples of Messiah-like behavior.
Yeah, he did do that. But the story I like though, remember the guy that every time David passed by would curse him and throw rocks at him?
Joanne.
What was his instructions to his son on his deathbed about him?
Kill the guy.
You will know what.
He was tied up loose ends at his death too.
Yeah, he tied up loose ends.
I thought, I saw that and I thought, okay.
And and there's even a hierarchy there because like you're saying, he took care of Mephibosheth and said, you'll always have a place at my table. And yet, he is one of the 7 that he lets hang because of a wrong that was done by Saul to this, wasn't he
No,
one?
Mephibosheth was not.
What am I thinking of?
It was the 7 from the concubine,
Yeah,
Saul's concubine.
Okay.
He did protect
I,
him.
you know, I thought, maybe the name is similar. Maybe there's-
Ishmael.
It's not-
Ishmael.
No, there's another name that's got a, but maybe that's where I got
What
it.
David did was, if God's anointed, he took care of God's anointed. Can I say that? And if you curse God's anointed, woe to you. And I think that's why, because David wasn't God's anointed.
and,
But David didn't kill him.
right.
The instruction was that guy needs to die because he did curse me.
Well, can someone explain to me what the stretching out of the rope that he did with the Philistine, or the Moabites,
Moabites.
and what that was about, where he stretched the rope out, and he had 'em- and he took, for every 2, he saved 1. And I'm reading through that,
Interesting, isn't it?
and
You know, to me, I see a picture of, you know, in the end times, in the end, one of the end wars, and it says 2/3 of the people in Jerusalem were gonna die. You know, 2/3, and so that's what that would be. is
I was
2/3.
wondering if it had something to do with the chapter in Numbers where they got into Baal worshiping, and God was going to put a plague on them, and maybe it was the Moabite incident in Peor that he was paying back the Moabites for here, because he clearly set some out for grace, and the other ones he killed. And I was trying
Where
to
are
figure
you
out
at?
why he was doing that, and what is the measuring of the rope? How did he do that?
8/9.
Chapter 8?
Chapter 8. Jim, I think, you know, when we talked about chapter 7 with, it was in his heart to build a temple, and God had something greater in mind. God said, no, I don't want you building a physical temple, but I will establish a dynasty for you, so that someone from your
Lineage.
family, from your lineage, there will never cease to be someone forever. You know, your dynasty, your kingdom will remain steadfast before you for all time. Your throne will remain forever. And that's through Yeshua. You
That's
know,
awesome.
to me, you know, we have our little plans. I want to do this for you, God. I want to build you this beautiful temple like the other people have. And God says, no, I have a better plan. Let me tell you what we're gonna do. So, he was,
Aren't we his temple?
exactly. God
So
was talking
David-
about
So
the
David's,
physical temple.
and David is, so David really did build him a temple.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, with that, it's 15:10. We need prayer before